If you're coming over to Jellyfin from platforms such as Hulu, Netflix, or Crunchyroll, you might be missing one feature if you consume a lot of shows, the intro skip button. So let me show you that this can actually in fact be done on Jellyfin. So I'm going to head over and play this video right here. And as you can see, when I play it, I have this skip intro button. And it does what it's supposed to. If that piqued your interest, stay tuned. Okay, so all you have to get started on this is a working Jellyfin server in Docker. You can either use the Linux server image or the official Docker image, and map your configuration, all of your media, and then just go through the default installation process until you're done and have your shows folder set up where you want to skip the intros on. So just do a basic search for the Jellyfin intro skip plugin, and one of the first results should be this GitHub repository right here. Go ahead and click on it, and one thing you'll see is that it has been archived. However, we can definitely get this working, and I'll show you how. Alright, so let's head down to the installation instructions. Now, step 1 is optional, although I highly recommend it since you'll get the button to skip the intro. You can still configure it without this button. In which case you can make sure that Jellyfin just skips the intros automatically. However, I definitely like having the button around. Even though this is a little bit tedious, I'm going to show you how to do this step, otherwise you can skip it. Now, if you actually click on the details right here, you'll see that we're supposed to download and extract the latest modified web interface from GitHub Actions. However, since this repository is archived and hasn't been updated in a while, you'll see that if we go into the most recent actions and try to download this, it's already expired. So the way we fix this is by forking the repository and running this action ourselves, and then we can get the archive ourselves. So in order to fork the repository, you'll need your own GitHub account, so make sure you've created that and signed in if you haven't done so yet, and then just head to the main page and click on fork. Just keep the default since you're just making a copy of it, and it'll take a few seconds to copy everything over to your account. And once that's done right here, alright, so let's head over to the bottom of the README and click on this exact same step right here, step 1, and click on the hyperlink. And then we'll go over and click on this GitHub Actions hyperlink, and as you can see, the problem is that this will redirect us to the page we were just at from the original repository. So we'll make sure that we'll use our fork by just copying our username. So you can just do that by, if you don't know it, just go ahead and click on the sidebar right here, copy your username, and replace the username in the URL with this new username, and then you'll get a screen asking you to enable workflows. So let's go ahead and do that. And once you've enabled them, just make sure to go back to the URL one more time, which has the archived workflows, and replace the username once more. Now you've enabled it, so when you replace the URL, you hopefully get to this screen right here, and now you can run this workflow. And as you can see, it's been successfully requested. This will take a few moments. So right here it's queued and it'll run through. And once it's done, we'll see what's next. So this will take a couple of minutes. As you can see, in my case, it took about 5 minutes. Just make sure you refresh the page every once in a while to see whether or not it's completed. And if it has, you'll see this green check mark next to it. Next, we need to download the archive that this produces. So just click on the workflow, and down here you'll see the file. So go ahead and download that. So I've gone ahead and renamed this file to Jellyfin. Make sure to keep the file extension on the back, and we're gonna copy this over to our server using the SCP protocol. There's a bunch of ways to do this. This is one simple way that should pretty much always work. So follow these steps to get it done. You're gonna open the terminal right here. If you don't have this, you can also just type in cmd up here. So let's go ahead and copy this. We're going to type in SCP space and then type in either the entire name or just, the first few letters, and then tab to get the remaining file path. Then we're going to type in our username, the username of our server, at the IP of the server, and then the absolute path to the folder that we want to copy it to. This is what I mean. So if we head over to this home lab folder where I've configured this Docker Compose, this is where I want to copy it to. So I run pwd, I get the entire absolute path, and I write that after the colon right here. So I'm going to copy this entire section to get the destination path, and then it'll ask me to type in my password. So I'm going to do that. And now it's copied. And as you can see, it's already in my VS Code installation. I already have this archive right here. So next we're going to have to unzip it twice, since they're basically like two archives. So the first command is going to be unzip followed by the name of the archive. So first we're going to create a empty directory to place it in. In my case, I already created it. And then we're going to extract the second archive. And there we go. And now this intro skip is extracted. Okay, so let's head back to the GitHub page and check how exactly we're supposed to pass this through to the container now. So if we read the instructions one more time, we'll see down here that we have to point this part right here to the extracted zip file. So let's go ahead and copy this. This is using the official container, and this is using the Linux server container. So we definitely need the second one in our case. And we'll just add that under volumes right here. Now I'm going to make some brief changes so that this works on my file system. Okay, I've gone ahead and map this properly. So as you can see, I have volumes, Jellyfin, intro skip, and then dist, which contains all the files, and I've mapped that to this internal Docker folder right here. Now in the official guide, it recommends that you leave this as a read-only folder. However, I found that removing this is probably best because it can sometimes create conflicts with other plugins, so I would recommend removing that. If you ever have any corruption, you always can unzip this archive right here and just basically regenerate everything, and then you can set it back to read only if you face any problems in regards to that. However, I'll be leaving it just this way. Okay, so we're done with step 1, which took quite a bit. Now we're going to do the easy part, which is just adding the plugin to our server. So let's go ahead and copy this URL right here from the docs. And we're going to go to Jellyfin, head over to our settings right here, to dashboard, head over to plugins, repositories, and then add this repository. So I'm just going to call it intro skip. And right here, just paste in the URL that you just copied, and you're going to have to click OK and accept some of the risk. And then under catalog, you'll see this new intro skipper plugin right here, and we can go ahead and install it. Click OK. Okay, so once it's installed, just make sure that it's actually installed by refreshing the site and clicking install, and it'll tell you that it's already installed. And you can verify that by just heading over to My Plugins, and you'll see Intro Skipper right here. There's not really anything to consider. However, we will need to restart our Docker container so that it has the new web interface that allows you to use the Intro Skip button. So let's go ahead and restart our container. Okay, so it seems to be working. Now, when you head over to your dashboard once more, under scheduled tasks right here, you can run this task called detect introductions. So let's go ahead and click the play button on this. And this will take a while, but once that's done, we can check whether or not it worked. Okay, so as you can see, it just ran for 12 minutes, even though I only have about 4 shows, so it is quite a tedious task. So anyways, once it's done, you won't see a progress bar, and it'll be down here. So let's see whether or not it worked. I'm going to head over to my home page again and just start, one of these shows. So let's go ahead and try this one out. And there you have it. Sorry for the volume increase, but yeah, so you can definitely see it works. The way it works is by detecting intros in the first however many minutes of a show, and if it finds them multiple times, it'll skip over them. One more thing I wanted to show you is that you can configure this to skip them automatically if you don't want to use this custom UI that I showed you in the last step. And the way you do that is by heading over to plugins and then clicking on automatically skip intros. There is more configuration, but I feel like this is the only really relevant part. So yeah, you definitely also have that option right here. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing would be greatly appreciated. Any of these will help the growth of the channel. Thank you, and until next time.